Right, thank you very much for coming to this event. This is a side event on the global environmental impacts of food waste.
We have managed in just one generation to lose a rational relationship to food because of the way that it has been branded, the way that we believe food is understood to look and therefore to taste by consequence. But we also have a global food industry which leads to situations such as the one we found in Kenya. Kenya is a major producer and exporter of horticultural products. The extraordinary thing is he came across a farmer who, and I don't know the exact numbers anymore, but by virtue of the contracts he has, the quality of size and look of vegetables, is forced to throw away 40 tons of fresh produce every year because that farmer is not allowed to sell food that the market and the supermarket does not take up. They are bound to destroy it. And if we together can change the public perception of the consumer, call upon the responsibility of governments and also businesses and farmers to change the narrative around food wastage, then actually people will have more to eat one day in different parts of the world, and above all agriculture will be less pressurized to be unsustainable given the current indices.
Every year, consumers in rich countries waste almost as much food as the entire net food production of sub-Saharan Africa. Food wastage in rich countries, then, is often spurred by insufficient purchase planning. Changes in all of this can help significantly to reduce food wastage. There's no one sector or set of groups of persons that are more responsible than the other. We all have to work on this together.
Governments can make sure that industry, companies, private businesses have the right incentives and that constraints are removed for them to reduce, recover, and recycle in their own operations. And we, with the U.S. Food Waste Challenge, are adding some more incentives and taking away some constraints. We are going to ourselves reduce waste in the school meals program. We're going to educate consumers about food waste and food storage. We have a couple new programs that we're going to be unveiling. And of course, the Environmental Protection Agency is also going to spearhead some of that outreach to consumers in this country.
Ban Ki-moon, my boss, last year said to me, could you please put into a very simple set of messages what the world needs to do to eliminate hunger? Because when he was a young man in Korea, he experienced real poverty and hunger. And that's why in June last year at Rio, he presented his Zero Hunger Challenge. It's totally wrong in a world where 1 in 7 or 1 in 8 are hungry. And we will end hunger in our lifetimes.
One of the most shocking statistics that we heard was that 50% more food is being wasted now in the US than 40 years ago. This woman told me a story that she used to go into a dumpster behind a bakery and collect the bread that was being thrown out, perfectly good, fresh baked bread, expensive, and she'd bring it into work the next day. She started doing this on a daily basis. And she had a coworker who was from Kerala in India. And after a while, this coworker took her aside and she said, gosh, I love this bread, thank you so much, but how can you afford to bring this bread in every day? And the gal said, oh no, actually I get it from behind this bakery. And the woman said, wow, so do the police know that you're doing this? And she said, oh no, we try to go when the police aren't there because it's illegal here to do that. And the woman said, oh no, do the police know that they're throwing the food away?
We're trying to change mentalities to make people understand that maybe the portions do not have to be huge portions. And sometimes they ask, why French people are maybe slimmer than Americans. Well, it's because maybe our portions are a bit smaller, even though we put butter and all these other good things.
When food is available, people will come for their treatment, whatever their malady might be. It might be a disease issue, it might be a job retraining issue. If there is food in that equation, they put 2 and 2 together and say, I will go because I will be fed.
In the last 4 years since we launched our campaign on ugly fruit and vegetables, the market has changed. Ugly fruit and vegetables are now the fastest growing sector of the fresh produce market in the United Kingdom. That may sound humorous, but in the last 12 months, the National Farmers Union estimates this has saved 300,000 tonnes of fresh produce from being wasted. That stuff has got to market because people have become aware that a carrot doesn't need to be as straight as a ruler. You're not going to use it to draw straight lines, you're going to eat it. And it tastes the same whether it's got a slight curvature or not. Please help yourself to apples at the back. Thank you very much. The solutions to food waste are delicious.